welcome to Real Biz. I'm Rebecca Jarvis here in New York City, and on our radar today, big bucks and fast cars, but not just any fast cars. We're talking about one of the most dangerous, most thrilling sports in America. Auto racing. Yes, auto racing. And who better to talk to about the land of speed than one of the great sports legends of our time, former American race car driver Chip Genassi. His team, Chip Genassi Racing, has won 17 championships and more than 160 victories, making him one of the most successful racing owners ever. Meantime, Forbes estimates his team is worth $62 million. Welcome, Chip.
Thank you, Rebecca.
And it might be worth even more than that now, because that's a figure from Forbes that was published a while back.
Well, if it's in Forbes, it must be true.
I'm sure you're happy with whatever it is.
Right.
You started all of this as you told me a few minutes ago when you were 5.
Well, arguably, yes. When I was 5, my father was in the asphalt paving business. He paved the go-kart track, and the man didn't pay him. So he and my cousin ended up with 3 go-karts in their garage.
And you figured out how fast they could go.
And yeah, so one go-kart's a lot of fun, but when you have 3 at that age, it's a major racing series.
What does it take to be a race car driver, you think?
I like to say it takes a short memory, because when something happens, you want to be able to put it behind you quickly and focus on what's ahead.
There have been a share of tragedies associated with the sport, like so many sports. You see the legends and there's an accident, and in this sport in particular, if there's an accident, it could have major consequences.
Yes, unfortunately, it's not without its faults, and but the sanctioning bodies are working feverishly to make it safer each and every year. I mean, people don't realize, seatbelts came from auto racing, rear view mirrors came from auto racing. So lots of safety features come out of the racing business.
When it comes to calling those in your industry athletes, there's mixed opinion about this, because
Yes.
a lot of this does come down, obviously, to the technical side, the cars themselves,
Sure.
all of the special additions that you can make to cars to make them go as fast as they possibly can. What is the sports side? What's the athletic side of the business?
You're sustaining 2 and 3 G-forces, 2 or 3 times your body weight in the corners. So in order to keep your head up, to steer the car, and then to maintain your focus with your mind, you have to have the focus of a tournament golfer and the strength of a football lineman. So it's sort of both ends of the spectrum, if you will.
How do you train for that?
Me personally, I don't train much anymore, but I know our drivers, they're doing a lot of endurance training. You see a lot of the drivers today doing triathlons, doing bicycles, long bicycle rides. A lot of them are triathletes, though. Yes.
They're triathletes, and there's a lot of money to be made in being that kind of triathlete. Getting sponsors on board, obviously a very important part of all of this.
Yes.
For anybody who's out there who's thinking about this, how do you do? Where do you start with this kind of thing?
It depends what market they're after, but more times than not, when a company associates with a sports team, it's because of the culture. It's because you want like cultures to be aligned. What are race teams about today? Race teams are about speed. They're about precision. They're about technology. They're about athleticism. So a lot of times you have if that's part of your own team, whatever business that may be, you have a like-minded culture, you may find a fit in auto racing.
How do you describe the team element of that? Because there's so many people who go into that one driver and their success.
They are, and when the car's coming down pit lane for a pit stop, you don't have time for a meeting. These pit stops are anywhere between 7 and 12 seconds, depending on the car, and it has to be a well-orchestrated ballet that's practiced over and over again. And you have to have people on the team that can think on their feet and make a quick decision. And that quick decision has to happen over 10 or 15 people in a matter of seconds.
I love that you use the word ballet in the context of racing.
Yes.
You also mentioned to me that you yourself, when you're driving on the real road, you're not a speed demon.
I'm not. I mean, I had my time then, and I've had my run-ins with the state police from time to time.
I was going to say, did you ever get a speeding ticket?
Yes, I actually have.
Do you have any count on that you want to share?
No, I don't have a count, but let's just say that but I've toned myself down in the last 10 years or so.
And nowadays, your everyday car is?
I'm in Pittsburgh, so I have an Escalade in the wintertime and a Corvette for the summer.
I'm curious to know, as far as safety is concerned, would you feel comfortable in a driverless car?
Well, I think, sure. I think we could feel comfortable in a driverless car. I think we all will. I think while the technology to have driverless cars is out there, and we have driverless cars on the road every day, I'm not sure that people's mindset and the insurance companies of the world have caught up with the technology of the actual car itself. While the car is out there and available, it's going to take some time for America and the American psyche to catch up with that idea. I think long term, I think it's a great idea for certain applications. In other words, I think in New York here would be a great example of a driverless car.
Very congested city.
Very congested.
And what about race car driving?
Well, I think actually it's good for race car driving to have driverless cars, because race cars will become more of an industry that will require a high level of expertise, even higher than today.
You are in town to help with the Bonaconti Foundation to cure paralysis. Tell us about that.
In 1985, Mark Bonaconti was injured, and he and his father Nick got together, started the Miami Cure for paralysis. Someone gets paralyzed in this country every 45 minutes or so, and the Miami Cure and their organization, that's solid support for 30 plus years with Nick and Mark. They've been able to have great events like the Sports Legends Dinner here in New York, have raised over $100 million over the years. They're making gains where these type of injuries, there's hope there for these people now that have injuries that had no hope before. And it's strictly because of Nick and Mark and their efforts.
And I know you've been a huge supporter as well.
Yes.
So thank you for that. You're a sports legend and an entrepreneur now. What's your #1 piece of advice to young budding entrepreneurs?
Be passionate. If you're passionate about something, you'll have the drive to attain your goals. It's all about passion.
Chip Genassi, thank you so much for joining me on Real Biz.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Have a great day. Drive safe.
I will.
We want to hear from you. Like us, tweet us at Rebecca Jarvis, and comment below. And from the studios in New York City, I'm Rebecca Jarvis. Have a great day.